Let's be honest. You see yourself as a good person. You don't rob banks. You don't start riots. But here's a fun fact. You're probably a criminal anyway. The American legal system is a giant confusing trap. And today, we're going to prove it. We've found 101 things you do, think, and see every day that are secretly and sometimes hilariously illegal. 1. That simple rain barrel in your backyard makes you a pirate. In states like Colorado, the law says that rainwater is already owned by someone downstream. You're not just watering your petunias, you're hijacking a natural resource. Your suburban backyard just became a lawless frontier, and you're the most wanted water bandit on the block. 2. Go ahead, share your Netflix password with your family. You're not just being nice, you're running a digital crime ring. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act can treat password sharing as hacking. You're the mastermind of an international syndicate whose primary crime is the illicit distribution of a show about people who bake cakes. 3. The weekly poker game in your garage feels like a sacred American ritual. But the second you take a single dollar to cover pizza, it becomes an illegal gambling operation. In the eyes of the law, your rickety card table is now a criminal enterprise, and your buddy Dave, who always brings the dip, is officially your accomplice. 4. A cross-country road trip fantasy often involves pulling over for a quick nap. In Eureka, California, that fantasy gets you a fine. Sleeping on any public street is illegal, turning your dream of freedom on the open road into a chargeable offense. The land of the free apparently requires you to be awake at all times. 5. Let's be clear about one thing. Opening mail not addressed to you is a federal felony. We're talking up to 5 years behind bars and a hefty fine. There is no "oops, my bad" defense in federal court. Was seeing your neighbor's dental bill really worth becoming a federal inmate? 6. You found a lost baby squirrel in your yard and decided to nurse it back to health. That makes you a hero, right? Nope, it makes you a criminal. In most states, it's illegal to possess wildlife without a license, even if your intentions are good. You're not Dr. Dolittle, you're an accidental wildlife trafficker. 7. Behold the American childhood dream, a lemonade stand on the curb. In the eyes of the law, however, it's an unlicensed food service establishment violating a dozen health codes. That adorable 8-year-old isn't an entrepreneur. They're a tiny, unregulated outlaw operating a cash-only front. 8. Try this next time you're in Kentucky. Put an ice cream cone in your back pocket. According to an old, unenforced statute still on the books, you've just broken the law. It was meant to stop horse thieves. So while you think you're just being weird, the law sees you as a rustler pulling off a dairy-based heist. 9. You might think you're sharing your impeccable music taste with the world. But in Florida, if that world can hear it from 25 feet away, you're just a public nuisance with a traffic violation. That booming bass isn't just a vibe, it's probable cause for a cop to ruin your day. 10. The state of North Carolina officially believes its senior citizens are a flight risk. That's why they cap bingo games at 5 hours. Because after that, the game descends into a geriatric turf war. This isn't a law to spoil fun. It's a preventative measure to stop a full-blown riot led by a woman named Ethel. 11. That angry, prolonged honk you lay on the guy who cut you off? It's not just you being a jerk, it's you breaking the law. In most places, a car horn is an emergency warning device, not a musical instrument for your road rage symphony. You're not warning of danger. You're just broadcasting your poor emotional control, and you can get a ticket for it. 12. That "for sale" sign taped to the inside of your car window? In many cities, it's illegal to advertise a vehicle for sale while it's parked on a public street. You're not just trying to sell your old sedan. You're operating an unlicensed mobile car dealership and violating city code. 13. On the Washington, D.C. Metro, that bag of chips you're sneakily eating is a serious offense. They are so fanatical about keeping their transit system clean that eating or drinking is strictly forbidden and finable. Your personal hunger is considered a direct and hostile threat to their pristine, carpeted utopia. Put the snack away. 14. That casual Super Bowl betting pool at the office makes everyone involved a potential federal criminal. The Interstate Wire Act of 1961 generally prohibits sports betting across state lines, which most office pools technically do. Your $10 bet just implicated the entire accounting department in a nationwide gambling conspiracy. 15. Here is an actual city ordinance in Missouri. It is illegal to worry a squirrel. Yes, you can be charged with causing a squirrel undue anxiety. So stop staring at them, don't make sudden movements, and for God's sake, don't try to explain your 401k to them. You are now legally responsible for the emotional well-being of rodents. 16. Your front yard with its collection of overgrown weeds and a car on cinder blocks isn't just an eyesore, it's a public nuisance violation. Many cities can fine you daily until your property no longer looks like the set of a post-apocalyptic film. Your personal freedom ends exactly where your neighbor's property value begins. 17. Cruising in the far left lane on the highway isn't just infuriating, it's illegal in most states. That lane is for passing, not for your existential crisis at 55 miles per hour. You're not being safe. You are a self-appointed traffic bottleneck holding the rest of civilization hostage. Move over. 18. In Little Rock, Arkansas, a bizarrely specific and old city ordinance could land you in jail for 30 days just for flirting. It was designed to stop people from improperly annoying others in public spaces. That smooth pickup line you were about to use might just make you an inmate. Smile and wave, folks. Just smile and wave. 19. Every time you hit share on a meme, you might be committing copyright infringement. That image of the surprised cat or the distracted boyfriend is intellectual property. You think you're sharing a harmless joke. The law sees you as an unlicensed distributor of stolen goods. The internet is not your playground. It's a legal minefield. 20. The concept of happy hour is literally banned in states like Massachusetts. No 2-for-1 specials, no discounted drinks after 5 p.m. The government officially decided that affordable alcohol was a public menace that had to be eradicated. Your quest for a cheap after-work beer is a direct threat to the social order. 21. A simple raffle for a charity bake sale feels innocent enough, but it's technically an unlicensed lottery. To be legal, games of chance often require complex permits and state oversight. That $50 gift basket you're raffling off could attract the attention of the State Gaming Commission. No good deed goes unpunished. 22. In South Dakota, it is against the law to lie down and fall asleep in a cheese factory. This law is real. We don't know what kind of cheese-fueled narcolepsy epidemic prompted this, but it's on the books. Your dream of napping on a giant wheel of cheddar is, sadly, a criminal fantasy. 23. Those festive Christmas lights still twinkling on your house in February. Some homeowners associations and city codes have rules about that. Leaving them up too long can result in fines. Your lingering holiday spirit is not just lazy. It's a violation that's costing you money. The joy is officially over. 24. Faking a sick day to go to the beach might be a time-honored tradition. But if you're using paid sick leave under false pretenses, you could technically be committing fraud against your employer. That beautiful tan you got could come with a side of termination for cause. Was it worth it? Yes, but it's still fraud. 25. Throwing a snowball in some towns like Aspen, Colorado, can be illegal. If a snowball is classified as a missile, you can be fined for throwing one at a person or property. Your wholesome winter fun is just one bad throw away from being classified as an assault with a frozen weapon. 26. Driving with headphones in both ears is illegal in many states. You're required to be able to hear emergency sirens and other traffic. So while you're blissfully zoned out to your true crime podcast, you are also a danger to society who is completely oblivious to the ambulance trying to get past you. 27. Here's a pro tip. Do not wrestle a bear in Alabama. It is a Class A misdemeanor. This law was likely created because, at some point, enough people tried to wrestle bears that it became a legitimate legal problem that needed to be addressed. Let that sink in. 28. That little side hustle selling your handmade crafts on Etsy. You might be an illegal business owner. If you haven't registered as a business or aren't paying the proper sales and income taxes, you're not an artisan. You're a tax evader. The IRS sees no difference between you and a mob boss. 29. In Arkansas, you are legally required to pronounce the state's name correctly. An 1881 state law declares the only acceptable pronunciation is Arkansas. While you won't be arrested, you will be publicly shamed by a law that exists solely to correct you. It's not a state, it's a mandatory pronunciation lesson. 30. Leaving your car running unattended to warm it up in the winter is illegal in many states. These anti-idling laws are meant to prevent theft and reduce emissions. So while you're inside enjoying your coffee, you're also breaking the law and giving car thieves a golden, beautifully preheated opportunity. 31. Paying a friend back for lunch with Venmo and using a joke emoji like a bomb or a gun? You could get your account flagged or frozen. Payment apps have to comply with federal regulations against funding terrorism. Your stupid inside joke just puts you on a watch list normally reserved for international arms dealers. Nice one. 32. Foraging for mushrooms or berries in a public park might seem like a wholesome rustic activity. It's also often illegal. Many parks have strict rules against removing any natural resources. You're not connecting with nature, you're pillaging a protected ecosystem for a handful of questionable fungi that will probably poison you anyway. 33. A simple bonfire on the beach is the stuff of summer memories. It's also, in most coastal towns, a finable offense without a specific permit. That romantic evening of s'mores and ghost stories is seen by local authorities as a potential environmental disaster and a public safety hazard. The fun police are always watching. 34. That little white lie on your resume? Inflating your job title or fudging your dates of employment isn't just unethical, it's potential fraud. If an employer can prove they hired you based on that lie, you could face legal action. Your attempt to look slightly more important could end with you explaining it to a judge. 35. In Oklahoma, it is illegal to have a sleeping donkey in your bathtub after 7 p.m. This isn't a joke, it's an actual on-the-books law. We have so many questions and precisely zero answers. Just know that your plans for a late-night donkey spa day are officially a criminal conspiracy. 36. You can get a DUI on a bicycle, or a horse, or a lawnmower. If you are operating any vehicle, motorized or not, while intoxicated in public, you can be charged. That drunken stumble home on your kid's Razor scooter isn't just pathetic. It's a legitimate reason to get arrested. 37. In Chicago, up until the 1970s, there was an ugly law that made it illegal for people with diseases, mutilations, or deformities to appear in public. While it's no longer enforced, it was a real ordinance. The city literally tried to outlaw being unattractive. Let that sink in. 38. In Baltimore, Maryland, a city ordinance makes it illegal to take a lion to the movies. It seems oddly specific, but it covers all the bases. So if you were planning a night out with your feline friend to catch the latest blockbuster, you'll have to find a different city. Your lion will just have to wait for it to hit streaming. 39. That casual garage sale you're planning for the weekend? Many cities require a permit. Some even limit the number of garage sales you can have per year. You're not just decluttering, you're running a temporary, unregulated retail operation. And the city wants its cut. 40. Planting certain types of running bamboo in your yard can be illegal. Some towns have banned invasive species because they spread uncontrollably and destroy neighboring properties. Your attempt at a serene Zen garden could spark a multi-year suburban war and land you with a hefty fine. 41. The simple act of swearing in front of children can get you charged with disorderly conduct in some states. Your colorful vocabulary isn't just bad parenting, it's a public disturbance. That F-bomb you dropped when you stubbed your toe could technically make you a menace to society. 42. In New Jersey, you cannot pump your own gas. It's one of only 2 states where it's illegal for a driver to touch the pump. This isn't for your convenience, it's a law. You are legally required to sit there and let a professional handle the dangerous, highly complex task of putting a nozzle in a hole. 43. It's technically illegal to drive with snow on the roof of your car in many states. It's a hazard that can fly off and blind the driver behind you. That giant pile of frozen water you were too lazy to brush off isn't just inconvenient. It's a high-speed projectile aimed at an innocent stranger. 44. Singing Happy Birthday in a restaurant might be a federal crime. Or it would be if the copyright hadn't finally expired. For decades, Warner Chappell Music claimed ownership, meaning any public performance was technically infringement. Restaurants had their own weird, royalty-free songs to avoid getting sued. Think about that next time you get a free dessert. 45. Modifying your car's exhaust to make it louder isn't just annoying the entire neighborhood. It's a violation of noise ordinances and emission standards in most states. You think you sound cool. Everyone else thinks you're a desperate cry for attention with a 2-inch tailpipe. And it's an expensive ticket. 46. In Gainesville, Georgia, it is illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork. This law was passed in the 1960s as a publicity stunt to promote the city as the poultry capital of the world. But it's still there. You are legally mandated to be a savage. Put the silverware down. 47. Let's talk about that pickup truck. If you let your friends ride in the open cargo bed, you might be breaking the law. Many states have age restrictions or outright bans on passengers in the back. Your fun, breezy ride to the lake is a finable offense and a fantastic way to turn your friends into human projectiles. 48. In Alaska, it is illegal to whisper in someone's ear while they are moose hunting. This isn't folklore, it's a real hunting regulation. Apparently, your hushed words of encouragement are considered an unfair advantage against the 1,000-pound beast you're trying to shoot. The moose deserves a fair fight. 49. Owning a permanent marker could make you a criminal. In many cities, possession of graffiti tools like broad-tipped markers or spray paint by a minor is illegal. Your kids' art project supplies are seen by the law as the starter kit for a life of vandalism. 50. Don't even think about misusing the presidential alert system on your phone. The system is for national emergencies only, and federal law makes it illegal for users to opt out. Tampering with it is a federal crime. So no, you can't block it. The government has your number and they will use it. 51. That little doodle you drew on a dollar bill isn't just you being bored, it's technically defacing US currency. If your art makes the bill unfit for circulation, you've broken a federal law. You're not an artist, you're a vandal of the Federal Reserve, one cartoon mustache at a time. 52. Enjoy the beautiful billboard-free highways in Hawaii. That's not a coincidence, it's the law. The state banned them entirely to preserve the natural scenery. The government has legally decided that its citizens' view of a volcano is more important than a massive picture of a smiling personal injury lawyer. 53. Serving margarine in Wisconsin can be a high-stakes game. State law makes it illegal for a restaurant to substitute margarine for butter unless the customer specifically requests it. You're not just saving money on dairy, you're committing an act of buttery treason against America's dairyland. 54. Want to make a quick buck reading palms? In many towns, fortune-telling for profit is illegal. It's not seen as a spiritual service. It's considered an unlicensed and fraudulent business. The law has officially decided that your predictions of tall, dark strangers are worthless and you need a real job. 55. In Connecticut, a pickle is not legally a pickle unless it bounces. This ridiculous-sounding law was passed after some crooked pickle packers in the 1940s tried to sell cucumbers unfit for consumption. This implies the existence of a pickle police squad, ensuring public safety one bounce at a time. 56. That loud phone conversation you had in the public library didn't just annoy everyone. It could be considered disturbing the peace. You're not just being inconsiderate. You're a criminal mastermind whose evil plan is to single-handedly disrupt the Dewey Decimal System. 57. Building a fence exactly on your property line without your neighbor's consent can lead to a massive legal battle. Property line disputes are a nightmare. Your attempt to establish a clear boundary could end with you and your neighbor spending thousands on lawyers, all because of 2 inches of dirt. 58. In Texas, it is illegal to sell your own eyeball. We're not sure what kind of black market for human organs prompted this law, but it's there. So if you were hoping to cash in on your spare parts, you'll have to think of another way. Your body is a temple, not a pawn shop. 59. Flying a drone in a national park is a federal offense. Your epic aerial footage of Old Faithful isn't just a cool YouTube video, it's evidence of a crime. The Park Service sees your little quadcopter not as a camera, but as a direct threat to grizzly bears and the general peace and quiet. 60. Using someone else's epic vacation photo as your Zoom background without permission could be copyright infringement. That stunning shot of the Amalfi Coast belongs to someone. You're not just pretending to be worldly. You're potentially committing intellectual property theft to look cool during your boring Tuesday meeting. 61. In Idaho, a man cannot give his sweetheart a box of candy weighing less than 50 pounds. This over-the-top archaic law is still on the books. It's not the thought that counts. It's the sheer, back-breaking weight of your affection. Anything less is apparently an insult. 62. Your dog's incessant barking can make you a criminal. Most cities have noise ordinances that apply to pets. If your neighbor complains enough, you can face hefty fines. You don't just have a loud dog, you are the legal guardian of a public nuisance. 63. That casual game of catch in the street? You could be obstructing traffic, which is a ticketable offense in many places. Your wholesome father-son moment is viewed by the law as a reckless endangerment of both yourselves and the poor guy just trying to drive home from work. 64. In New York, it's illegal for more than 2 people to congregate in public while wearing masks that disguise their identities. This old anti-protest law is rarely enforced, but it's there. So your group's superhero-themed bar crawl is technically an unlawful assembly. 65. Leaving your sprinkler on during a drought can get you fined. Many cities in dry regions have strict water usage schedules. You're not just keeping your lawn green, you're actively defying a citywide conservation effort so your grass can look slightly better than your neighbor's. 66. It is illegal to use someone else's name to sign them up for junk mail or spam emails. This isn't a harmless prank. It's a form of harassment. You think you're being clever? The law thinks you're a menace who deserves a fine for weaponizing newsletters. 67. In Ohio, it is illegal to get a fish drunk. This law specifically applies to the owner of a fish. We don't know why you would want to, how you would do it, or what a drunk fish even looks like. But the state of Ohio has decided it must be stopped at all costs. 68. In some cities, washing your car in your own driveway is illegal. The soapy, grimy runoff can enter storm drains which lead directly to rivers and streams, polluting the water. Your desire for a sparkling clean ride is a direct violation of local environmental codes. You monster. 69. Don't get any bright ideas in a post office. It's federal property, which means it has its own police force, the Postal Inspection Service. They are one of the oldest and most effective law enforcement agencies in the country. They don't just deliver mail, they deliver justice. 70. That emotional support peacock you tried to bring on a plane? It's not going to fly. Airlines are now legally allowed to deny unconventional support animals. Your right to emotional comfort does not include the right to subject 200 other passengers to a giant, screaming bird at 30,000 feet. 71. Using a VPN to watch a show that's only available on Netflix in another country? You're not just being resourceful, you're violating the platform's terms of service. And while they won't send the FBI, you're technically accessing content you're not licensed to see. You're a low-stakes international art thief, and your loot is a British baking competition. 72. That old broken-down satellite dish still attached to your roof is more than just an eyesore. It can be an HOA violation. Many homeowner associations have strict rules about inoperable fixtures. Your monument to 1990s television isn't just outdated. It's a finable offense that's dragging down property values. 73. In Pennsylvania, it is illegal to catch a fish with your hands. You are legally required to use a rod, line, or net. The law apparently sees your bare-handed fishing attempt not as an impressive survival skill, but as an unfair and barbaric attack on an unsuspecting trout. Have some decency. 74. Your friendly neighborhood gossip session could land you in court. In some states, false light is a recognized invasion of privacy. This happens when you spread information that portrays someone in a misleading, even if not technically false way. You're not just chatting, you're an amateur propagandist with potentially expensive legal consequences. 75. Think you can just burn your trash in a backyard barrel? Think again. Many municipalities have banned open burning due to air pollution and fire risk. Your rustic method of garbage disposal isn't just bad for the environment. It's a public health hazard that will earn you a visit from the fire department. 76. In Minnesota, it is illegal to hold a greased pig contest. The law also bans turkey scrambles. Apparently, the state legislature decided that chasing slippery farm animals for public amusement was a bridge too far for civilized society. Your dreams of glory at the county fair have been crushed by animal rights activists. 77. Honking your horn at a wedding procession might feel festive. It could also get you a ticket for improper use of a horn. In most places, it's strictly an emergency device. You're not celebrating a happy union. You're contributing to noise pollution and confusing other drivers who think there's an actual emergency. 78. That souvenir starfish or conch shell you took from the beach in Florida. You might have broken the law. It's illegal to take certain types of shells, especially with living organisms inside them, from many beaches. Your innocent vacation memento could be a piece of criminal evidence. 79. In the great state of Arizona, it is illegal to refuse a person a glass of water. It's considered a basic hospitality law, especially given the climate. So even if you despise the person at your door, you are legally obligated to hydrate them. It's forced kindness, backed by the threat of law. 80. Lying about your age to get a senior discount isn't just cheap, it's fraud. You're not just saving $1 on a coffee. You're willfully misrepresenting yourself for financial gain. It's the most pathetic, low-stakes heist imaginable, but it's a crime nonetheless. 81. In Rhode Island, it is illegal to race a horse down a highway. This feels like it should be common sense, but at some point, enough people tried it that it had to be explicitly outlawed. Your spontaneous, old-timey drag race is a direct violation of modern traffic laws. 82. Those campaign signs still dotting your lawn months after the election? Many cities have ordinances requiring their removal within a specific time frame. Your lingering political statement isn't just lazy, it's a violation of city code. The election is over. Let it go. 83. It's illegal to pump your own gas in Oregon. Like New Jersey, it's a state-mandated full-service situation. You are legally forbidden from performing the highly technical and dangerous task of putting a nozzle in a hole. Just sit in your car and let the professionals handle it. 84. In Utah, you are not allowed to detonate a nuclear weapon. This state law seems a bit redundant, given the federal government's stance on the issue. But Utah wanted to make it extra clear. Do not, under any circumstances, start a nuclear apocalypse within their borders. It's just not neighborly. 85. Spitting on a public sidewalk is illegal in many cities. It's considered a public health violation. You're not just being gross, you're a walking biohazard, and the city can fine you for it. Keep your bodily fluids to yourself. 86. Letting your dog bark for too long isn't just annoying, it violates noise ordinances in most cities. If your neighbors file enough complaints, you can face serious fines. You don't just own a pet. You are the legal guardian of a public nuisance, and the city is keeping a file on him. 87. In Michigan, a woman is not allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission. This is an ancient, completely unenforceable law, still on the books from a time when a woman's hair was considered her husband's property. It's not just outdated, it's a fossil from a forgotten, more sexist era. 88. That bonfire you're having needs to be fueled by clean wood. Burning trash, plastic, or treated lumber releases toxic fumes and is illegal in most places. You're not just getting rid of garbage, you're creating your own personal chemical cloud and poisoning your neighbors. 89. You cannot legally challenge someone to a duel in Tennessee. The state constitution specifically forbids it and bars anyone who participates in one from holding public office. So if you want to solve your dispute the old-fashioned way, you'll have to give up your dreams of becoming a city councilman. 90. That fire pit in your backyard has to be a specific distance from your house and your neighbor's property, usually 10 to 25 feet. If it's too close, you're violating the fire code. Your cozy evening of marshmallow roasting is seen by the fire department as a reckless endangerment of the entire neighborhood. 91. That free candy sign you jokingly put on your van for Halloween? You might think it's hilarious. The police will call it creating a public nuisance or even disorderly conduct. Your edgy sense of humor is just one concerned neighbor's phone call away from a very awkward conversation with law enforcement. 92. In Iowa, it's illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss a woman in public. This is another one of those ancient, bizarre laws that somehow survived into the modern era. Your romantic, well-groomed gesture is a crime against public decency, according to a law written by someone who clearly hated facial hair. 93. Screaming your head off on a roller coaster? In some places, that could technically fall under disorderly conduct if it's deemed to be causing a public disturbance. Your joyous expression of terror is just one grumpy park official away from a warning or even an ejection. The fun must be orderly. 94. You cannot legally pay a speeding ticket with pennies. While coins are legal tender, federal law allows businesses and government agencies to set their own payment policies. Your petty act of protest will likely just be rejected, forcing you to find actual dollar bills like a functioning adult. 95. In Connecticut, it is illegal to walk backwards after sunset. We have no idea why. Maybe they were worried about people stumbling into things in the dark, or maybe, just maybe, they were trying to prevent time travel. Either way, your moonwalk home from the bar is officially off the table. 96. Playing poker with your friends on Good Friday is illegal in Florida. According to a state statute, it's a day reserved for… not that. Your friendly card game is considered a direct affront to the solemnity of the occasion. The state has decided your day should be for reflection, not for bluffing your way to a pot of quarters. 97. In many states, it's illegal to drive barefoot. This is often justified for safety reasons, claiming you can't apply proper pressure to the pedals. So while you think you're embracing a free-spirited lifestyle, the highway patrol sees you as a reckless menace with dangerously unsupported arches. 98. Misrepresenting your pet as a service animal is a crime in over 20 states. That service dog vest you bought on Amazon for your poorly behaved Chihuahua isn't just dishonest, it's a finable offense that undermines people with actual disabilities. Your desire to bring your yapping rodent everywhere is not a protected right. 99. Building a treehouse for your kids might require a building permit. If it's over a certain size or height, many cities classify it as an accessory structure subject to the same regulations as a shed. Your wholesome childhood project is seen by the city planner as an unregulated construction site. 100. In San Francisco, it is illegal to feed the pigeons. The city considers them a public nuisance, or rats with wings. Your attempt to be a real-life Disney princess by communing with the birds is a violation of city code that contributes to overpopulation and disease. You're not kind, you're part of the problem. 101. Finally, in the entire United States, you are not allowed to declare your own independent nation in your backyard. It's called sedition. Your dream of founding the Republic of Dave, with its own flag and a population of 1, is seen by the federal government as a direct challenge to its sovereignty. And they have a much, much bigger army than you do. So, how many laws did you break just this week? From your choice of pet to the way you watch TV, America's legal system is a beautiful, chaotic mess designed to make criminals out of all of us. But here's the real test. I want you to go down to the comments and defend the one law from this list that you believe is absolutely essential and should be strictly enforced. I don't want the most logical one. I want you to champion the most absurd one. Go to war for it. If this video made you question your entire life, obliterate the like button and subscribe for more descents into madness.